તમારે કેટલા લેટ થઈ ગયા છે ને 10 વાગી ગયા તમારે રજનીભાઈ?
યસ યા અમારે બંનેને અમને અરુણાબેનને બંને.
Oh, so it's late night.
મને 9 વાગ્યા.
Oh, sorry, તમારે 9 વાગે. યસ યસ.
Yeah, I'm central time.
યા યા.
થોડું અડધો કલાક વહેલું કરવું છે આપણે એલએ વાળા માટે.
ના ના ના, this is fine. No problem.
બસ તમારા માટે ઈસ્ટ કોસ્ટ વાળાને જરા લેટ થઈ જાય.
No, મારા માટે, I mean, you know, I'm nowhere to go tomorrow except walk in the morning.
We are retired people.
Chalo, let's wait for some others to come.
Okay, we will start. Pulinanandji, mantra, please talk. Arunaben recite and Arunaben please follow.
એક મિનિટ ટાઈમ ગડબડ થઈ છે જરા. ભગવાન એક જ સેકન્ડ ટાઈમ હે બીજો પ્રોગ્રામ ચાલુ થઈ ગયો છે. How do I do that?
Okay.
નમો વિતરાગાય.
Namo Vitragay.
નમો અરિહંતાણમ.
Namo Arihantanam.
નમો સિદ્ધાણમ.
Namo Siddhanam.
નમો આયરિયાણમ.
Namo Ayoriyanam.
નમો વજ્જાયાણમ.
Namo Vajrayanam.
નમો લોય સૌ સાહુણમ.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
એસો પંચન મુકારો.
Eso Panchanamukkaro.
સૌ ભાવપણાસણો.
Savapavapanasano.
મંગલાણં ચ સવેસિં.
Manglanam cha Savvesin.
પરમં હવૈ મંગલમ.
Padamam Bhavai Mangalam.
ઓમ નમો ભગવતે વાસુદેવાય.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ઓમ નમઃ શિવાય.
Om Namah Shivaya.
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ.
Jai Satchidanand.
Hey, Satchidanand, Mahatmao. Okay, last time we had talked about column number 5, and we'll wait for some more people to come. In the meantime, Pulinanandji, why don't you talk about, you know, we're doing Kalams, and today is for Navratri. We are also doing Kalams, so 4 and 5, 4 today, 5 tomorrow. So why don't you talk about that, our initiative, and then we'll take experiences.
Yeah. This time I felt that we could be celebrating Navratri the Akram way. Traditionally, whatever puja and arti and whatever rituals anybody may be following, that one or he or she may follow. But now Kalama is basically to make Prakriti pure, to remove the impurities in that. And this festival of Durga, the festival of Navratri, is also for doing bhakti of Ambema, to make the Prakriti Sahaj, to make the Prakriti Shuddha. When the Prakriti becomes Shuddha, that is devoid of Krodman Maya Lobh, it becomes Shuddha. And when it is Shuddha, it becomes Sahaj. Sahaj means it just flows. So, and whosoever's Prakriti has become Sahaj, Ambema is very happy on the person and blessings are showered by her. Dada would say, I'm the person with immense grace of Ambe Mataji on me, because my Prakriti is 100% Sahaj. So we decided, I felt that I would be doing it, and I've shared it with others, that this Navratri, for the 9 days, we could ask for the strength of the 9 Kalams. So day 1 was asking for strength of Kalam number 1. Day 2 was asking for strength of Kalam number 2, and so on. What is to be done is, during the day, whenever we get time, we just keep asking for the strength of the respective Kalam of the day. So today is the day 4. So 4th Kalam is the Purusharth of the day. Whenever we get time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or maybe more, we keep asking for this strength. The purpose is, when we do a focus Purusharth throughout the day on a particular Kalam, awareness of that Kalam increases immensely. In the sense, during the day, if you are happening to break that Kalam, today is, for example, about Tiraskar. So if you happen to break about Tiraskar, then automatically this awareness will pop up. Oh, you are making a mistake, and we will retrace. And that is number 1. Number 2, what will happen is, when we are focusedly asking for this strength, say 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or a little more than that, we will see 2 things. First thing is where we happen to break the Kalam. For example, about Tiraskar, where we happen to do about Tiraskar, or Kalam 1, where we happen to break someone's ego or hurt someone's ego. So those incidences, those people, they will come to our in our awareness, and we will resolve not or ask specific strength that may I not hurt the ego of person so and so, or may I not do about Tiraskar for person so and so. So it'll bring to awareness where we are specifically slipping on, where we happen to, our awareness slips. Those incidences or those people will come up, and we'll ask specific strength, so that next time when we interact with the person, we happen to follow the Kalam. There is a restraint on our behaviors. There's an enhanced Jagrati, and it leads to exhausting of the karmas and being a Syadvat Vyavahar with the concerned people. Second thing that will happen is, we will realize what is it that is causing me to break this Kalam. There is something inside me which overrides, and I happen to hurt someone's ego or about the restaurant or whatever the Kalam may be. The root cause and then the solution. For example, the solution in Kalam 1 is, give me the strength not to, give me the strength to speak in such a manner, think in such a manner, and act in such a manner as not to hurt anybody. Syadvad Vani, Syadvad Vartan, and Syadvad Manan Karvani Shakti Apo. Now, how do I generate that? Or how does that come into practice? So, as far as Manan goes, the thoughts will come because that is discharge. But what is it that is popping that thought coming up? What is that belief within me? That will come to the forefront, and I will realize that, and I will change that belief, which will cause me to do Syadvad Manan. Oh, that fellow is stupid. So my thoughts which will hurt the ego will come. But then why is he stupid? Is he the doer? Is Devasya Shakti the doer? He's hurting me because of my reasons. So all those things, the Gnan will come in place. The Gnan will come in place, and the reason for non-Syadvad Manan, we will realize or we will catch. And then we will then, as per the new Gnan, that he or she is not the independent doer, Evas is the doer, whatever it may be the Gnan, that we'll put in place and sort of erase the Asyadvad, hurting Manan or hurting thinking. So we'll be able to replace the hurting thinking with the non-hurting thinking by today's Gnan. Same way for speech. Now what should I, this person gets on my nerves. Then how do I do Syadvad Vani with him? So when you ask for strength, then you will get the strength that I should talk not like this, but I should talk like this, like this, like this. So those solutions, the solutions based on today's Gnan will emerge inside us, and we will be able to practice Syadvad Vani, Syadvad Vartan, and Syadvad Vartan. Vartan means actions, behavior. So behaviors are the last thing. It's the first thing, it's at the mind level. If it's cropped at the mind level, then it won't even come to the speech level. If it's cropped at the speech level, it won't come into the action level. So the point I'm trying to say is, by asking for the strength of this kalam on the particular day, what will happen is solutions will emerge as to how do I put it into practice, or how does that kalam come into practice? How about Tiraskar doesn't take place? How non-hurting of the ego, non-hurting of the prakritik dharma, or non-hurting to the sadhu, sadhvi, acharyas, the monks, preachers. How, what is the thinking, what is the understanding that will come, will pop up within us, we'll get that intuition, we'll get that insight, and that will erase the hurting behaviors. Essentially, asking for the strength is necessary because we have brought n number of layers where today I've decided not to hurt, but again it comes up, then third time it comes up. So every time we ask for strength, we keep on erasing one layer, and gradually all the layers will get exhausted, and then the prakriti becomes sahaj, and it's become normal. And the soul awareness, Atma Jagrati, will also increase greatly. As the impurities from the Prakriti diminish, the soul Jagrati awareness increases. Both are go hand in hand. So now Kalma, 9 days focus Purusharth throughout the day will bring about a step jump, if I may say so, in our awareness vis-a-vis the no Kalmas. So just as Purusharth is a occasion where we do intense Gnan Yagna, focus on the sayings of Dada Bhagwan and purifications and all that. Same way, this Navratri could be used to make our Prakriti Sahaj or pure with the help of the 9 diamonds or 9 colors. So that was the core concept of Kalam. And on the 9th day, apart from the 9th Kalam of may I be instrumental in the welfare of the world, what I have suggested is, then in addition to the 9th Kalam, also repeat 1 or 2 or 3 Kalams which you feel are a little more necessary for the purifications, that the Prakriti has little more cleansing required. So on the 9th day, apart from the Kalam, whatever Kalams we feel we need to do more asking of strength, maximum 1, 2 or 3, those could also be repeated or asked for. So at the end of the 9th day, we will have a better awareness of the 9 Kalams, and it will help us in our Purusharth for the Moksha. So that was the summary of the 9 Kalam Purusharths which we are doing, and Resniba has been posting on the groups. And that's how we expect Mahatmas to do the Purusharth. I made a small clip, but it was in Gujarati, so I think we have not put it in the English groups. But that's the summary of the Purusharth of Navratri and Kalams together. Yes, yeah.
Very Satchidanand, very good. Pulinanandji. Anybody wants to share an experience? Okay, Shalyaben, you can unmute yourself.
JSS Pulinanandji, JSS Mahatmas. I think this, you may, of course, every day you're posting, it's also in English. The summary is also given in English. So it is very useful. The only thing I had was, you mentioned just now that reciting the 9 columns, plus also the few columns that you feel needs, that for instance, file number 1 needs to be worked on, the one column which I feel it should be worked on. And I feel that is something which I'm finding difficult to figure out which column should I be focusing on. Until now, I noticed that many of all the 5 columns, many of these actions or reactions of file 1 is due to the ego. It's all sensitivity, you become immediately sensitive and reacts. So which one should I focus on? That's what I'm not able to figure out. Obviously, in every column, it's a different, though it's a different message and different focus, but the underlying thing is the same, right? So I'm a little confused. Which one should I be focusing on?
You see, as you say 1 column per day, you will understand the depth of that column. As I said, the reasons behind the breakage of that column. Reasons. There is some understanding or some belief which is working within me, which is prompting me to hurt someone's ego or the other columns.
Yes.
Now, if you're able to trace that, and then you find that I have asked, but in spite of asking for the column strength throughout the day, this thing is repeating. Whenever we know that I happen to break this column in spite of asking for strength, and in spite of having a firm resolution not to break it, it is still happening.
Still happening, yes.
That means it is that column whose the impurities are more or greater in our Prakriti. That impurities related to that column are more in my Prakriti. Hence, I need more cleansing of that error or mistake. And for that, I have to ask for more strength. That will come to you. Never mind. We have come to the 4th column as per the Purusharth of the Navratris. By the time you come to the 9th column, that is first 8 days, you will yourself come to know that, okay, this column I'm comfortable in the sense I can restrain myself in this column very easily.
Yes.
But in some things we are not able to restrain in spite of the best of intentions. So that is the column where you need little more asking of strength of that column.
Okay. So maybe in the course of maybe next couple of days, maybe after each column, then it will be more clear.
Then it will be more clear to you which is the column that you need to
work on.
Additionally.
And one more thing which you mentioned is like Jagriti throughout the day, when you just make this pray for the strength each day, and the Jagriti is not there throughout the day, though I pray in the morning, but then it comes and goes. Only in the night, when everything settles down, when I'm alone, that's when I reflect back on the day, and then I say, oh, okay, I broke in so many places. And then we do the Pratikrama. So the Jagriti is not there throughout the day. It comes and goes.
For that, at least if 2 points in addition to the first thing in the morning, then maybe it's around noon, 12 to 2 or something, or maybe in the evenings. If you again ask for that strength, make a conscious decision that you have to say this, then your awareness will increase throughout the day. Like Muslims, they do namaz 5 times a day. So it's a self-reminder throughout the day.
Now I realize why they do. You have to keep reminding yourself.
You have to keep reminding yourself. Because, it is not only asking of strength, it is generating a deep inner intent. Generating a deep inner intent that really speaking, I want this from the bottom of my heart.
Exactly, yes.
You see, so when that happens, then you will yourself feel, okay, I'm getting 2 minutes during the day. I just ask for a strength. Minutes during the evening, I ask for the strength. So we have to grab those 2 minutes or 5 minutes and make it a conscious decision of utilizing the time for asking this strength. Like, it's
inner intent. Yes.
deep inner intent. It's like, when we fall ill, doctor says you must take this medicine 3 times a day.
You don't forget.
So, so, this is like taking the medicine 3 times a day, at least 3 times, if more, yes.
Or at least in the beginning, maybe we should give an alarm or something to remind ourselves.
Yes.
Still, you discipline yourself further.
Self reminders one has to generate,
yes,
either in mobile or in form of a sticker. When we were doing the first 2 Agnas Purusharth, then I had asked people to generate the sticker, the small sticker, and put it in their workplace. Maybe in the kitchen, then maybe in the writing table or drawer or something. Where your sight will fall on it throughout the day. That relative viewpoint, I am name bearer, real viewpoint, I am Shuddhatma. So if you just read those 2 sentences immediately, you will remember that I have to see Shuddhatma.
Yes, I think those kind of reminders will be good.
Some people put a bangle or a ring or something.
Or have the 9 columns in front of you.
Or on the mobile, that front, that thing is just that only. The moment any phone comes, you see that first thing.
Okay.
So we have to generate reminders based on our need.
Okay.
So during the waking hours, while executing our duties, we still get reminders.
Okay. Okay, we still have some days. I'll definitely start this tomorrow and try.
I tell you, it is it is wonderful, and we will realize that sometimes, in spite of asking strength, you still happen to break it. That means that much of negative things we have charged, and now it is coming in discharge.
Yes.
These are all bhav or charges that we have done in the previous birth, which is pro Prakruti, towards the Prakruti. And now we are trying to go away from the Prakruti. We are trying to remain anchored in the soul.
Yes.
So, how to detach from what has been charged in pro Prakruti, pro Samsara? Why I am doing about this? Because that is why I feel I am right. Typically, what I have found is it is our own ego and our beliefs that this, and our own intellect, our buddhi, which typically tells this is right, this is wrong. It seeks for justice. It seeks for justice. How he did like this, when he does this, okay. When I do, it's not okay. So seeking of justice, seeking of right and wrong. I'm right, she is wrong, or he or she is wrong. So those are typical functions of the intellect, which are pro Prakruti, or which keep us towards worldly life, worldly sentiments. And if you're able to catch some of such things, each one will have different things. If you're able to catch some of such things, then we will be able to let go it. Whatever happens is justice, where your intellect saying this is right and this is wrong. So, like this Israel war is taking place, so that we feel it is wrong, but then nature has some other justice in mind, which we don't know what are the causes. So this is a very outside example, but in our related life, we can also think in those lines.
Definitely.
So if you're able to catch some such thing, then and work on it, then it's easy. Oh, your intellect has popped up, so you're seeking justice, so you feel this person is wrong, this is not right. And then you immediately put cross on that although I don't agree with this. So the intellect will also gradually diminish, and it will stop pestering us. This is right, this is wrong, injustice, and all that. And in the process, we'll also separate from file number 1. This is happening to file number 1, not me. Once we separate, then we will be able to absorb equanimously whatever hardships come our way. Hardships in form of sufferings that come to the file number 1 will be taken up as penance or tap, we call it. is accepting what we disagree, what we dislike. Up is basically accepting what we dislike. The mind does not like it, and we still have to accept it. Someone yells, I don't like it, but I have to accept it. Chalo, hisab pura ho raha hai. Something like that. So that top part will also emerge, and that will square up all the debts, karmic debt. That is what I feel. And so this whole process is a process of self-discovery, discovery of Prakriti. What we have charged, what is popping up, and what is not in alignment with my goal of going to moksha. So Prakriti, some parts support us in our goal of moksha, support us in doing the appropriate Purusharth. And sometimes it doesn't support us in our goal in doing appropriate Purusharth. So we will be able to find out what is the pros and plus and minuses, as they in business or in business terminology, they do a SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat analysis. So this is one of the ways of finding out our strengths and weaknesses, Prakritic strengths and weaknesses. Strengths are helpful. So wherever we are a shade stronger, those columns will immediately remain in the awareness of those columns. Where we are a little weaker, we need more asking of the strength. Weaker in the sense that demerit or that wrong thing we have filed more, we have charged more, So it's like I've charged 1 lakh layers of it. So I'll have to ask strength for 1 lakh times before it becomes 0. Very gross example, but trying to drive a point at how much ever charged, that much I have to unwind.
Yes. And it looks like it is getting, what happens is the more we think we understand file number 1, more suddenly something new comes up, and then you say, oh, okay, where did this come from? And then you've discovered something new. Okay, so this is why it acted. So a lot of surprises and a lot of shocks also. I mean, you think you have got rid of this thing. Oh, okay, so now I think I've got file number 1 no longer having this issue. But then suddenly something happens, and then you feel you're back to square 1. I mean, oh, this is something new I have discovered. And so I realized so much of baggage.
You're right. You're absolutely right. That will happen because you see, we have got vyavhar, worldly dealings in various dimensions, at home, at workplace, with neighbor, with relative A, relative B, relative C. So we feel that at some places we have become okay, but then the other dimension of our worldly dealing pops up, and then, oh, here we lack, here we are slipped. It's a discovery across various fronts or various dimensions of our worldly life. But this is all that is required. You see, once we are clear on the basic core intent, and then also it is applied across various role plays that we do in our worldly dealings, at home, at office, with person A, with person B, and we have found solutions to deal with such all situations, then we'll be very comfortable. What will happen is the errors or the mistakes will pop up at the mind level, but we'll be able to manage it very easily. In the sense, we'll not get engrossed into it. I know it is coming, it has come, I accept, I deal with it, say cross, and it goes away. You have to only bring the awareness to that level where we don't get entangled or engrossed into it. That's all.
That's a big step.
You have to only bring our awareness to that level. The exhaustion of that karma will take place at its own time based on the state.
Yes. As long as you can step away and don't get engrossed, I think that's a big step.
Bas. So the whole purpose of all this Purusharth is to bring our Jagrat to that level where we can step away.
Yes. Okay. I think I got it.
Oh, Shaila, man, I want to share one experience. At work, it's easy for a reminder. At work is easy because we used to take water break and bathroom break, right? Yes. So when I used to do that, I always had a sticky, on my right hand side. when I want to go and take a break, I put the sticky and put it there. So when I come back, I know I have to spend a few minutes on reflection of the happening before I go back to work. So it was very, it was at work is easy. At home you are going different places, so it's yeah. So this is something I want to share with you.
Thank you so much. Yes, I think this is like he said, the doctor's prescription that reminds, I think that's a very good thing that you brought out, because I would never miss a medication dose. I know exactly when. So why can't I do the same thing with this? Such an important thing. So I think I should do the same thing. Whenever I go to take a medicine, why don't I take that break and use it for this also? I could do that.
In case you are taking some medication, just ingrain that at that time I have to ask for the strength of this column also.
Let me start with that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Pulina. This is good because it's a medicine for your moksha.
Yes, exactly. Medicine for moksha. Why not? Which should be the most important thing. Yes.
Yeah, one is medicine for the pudgal or the body, and this is medicine for the soul or Atma Jagrati, soul awareness.
Yeah.
True, very true.
Okay, I think that's a very good point today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jai Sachidanand. Puja?
Yeah, Jai Sachidanand.
Yes, Jai Sachidanand, Puja.
My experience maybe this week for Kalam 5 was, I think I noted when a few circumstances when I don't have Rudraujabasa, and I think a lot of it's like with like this notification, and I think like technology these days, when I get so many notifications, like, you know, oh, this is gone, you know, this has been canceled, or this is due late, or you have a fine for this, you know, now you get it on your phone like right away, and it's just like constant all day. And then even at work, sometimes there's like, you're working, but you have, you know, your phone call, and you have so many people trying to get a hold of you in various different ways. Before it was just like you would have to come in and talk to me. Now you can get a hold of me 5 different ways. You know, I have a pager, I have this phone, I have my chat thing up, I have to have my email. So I feel like one of the things that triggers my speech, maybe it might be a conversation with my child or with my spouse or somebody, is I have this like lingering from but somebody else's message is lingering, and then that kind of bleeds into my next interaction. And I'm not able to like separate it so quickly, like one event at a time. I can think of it as a file, but sometimes I'm noticing where I'm slipping is because I'm still thinking about something else, and that is coming out into my Vani.
Right. You know, I think what you're trying to say is that too many things popping up at one time, you know, too many things. Simultaneously, you are bombarded with so many things which demand your attention. One email, one phone call, someone chat, one notification, all popping at the same time. And then you get, you know, sort of, you know, disturbed what to do. And then while you're focusing on replying to someone, and then someone else pops in, then you blow up on that person. What is this?
Right. And they have nothing to do with anything, right?
I understand.
They're innocent.
Yes. No, that is basically when too many things requiring your attention come at the same time. So the only answer to it is, one of the answers which I had used once upon a time was that just say these are files. You are working on email or attending someone on the phone, and then some other notification comes or someone comes and tells you. Just say the file has come, and tell file number 1 or tell Pooja that okay, slowly one by one, you will attend to everybody one by one. What happens is we try to be prompt, and we try to see to that we satisfy everybody and simultaneously and get out of it. You know? So this is where the panic sets in, and that causes in disturbed Vani, that we may hurt someone. Now, how the key is The key is how to remain cool when so many things are trying to grab your attention. So many things are trying to grab your attention. So the answer which I derived was from one grocery store over here. Once while I was walking down the road and I saw this grocery, the Kirana store, as we say in India. So there'll be a handful of customers in front of him, 8, 10 of them. Everybody is asking his attention. How much? What is the price of this item? What is the price of this game? Has rice come? Has this item come? Everybody's on his head. He's attending to customer 1 and 3 are pestering him with queries. So what does he do? He just very cool. New customer comes, he'll ask, what do you want? Okay, listen to him. And then he'll do what he was doing anyway. He was attending to the order of one customer. He'll go back to his order. He will make the other person stand in the queue, not attend to him afterwards, you see. So he had his own set of priorities and he would execute order 1, then order 2, then customer 1, then customer 2, like that, like that. So that is the same thing we have to do. When too many things come together at one time, all demanding your action or your attention. Okay, 5 I will do 1 at a time. And gradually attend 1 by 1, 1 by 1, 1 by 1. And then I think that's the best way to square up, which without getting disturbed. Disturbance only comes when we feel I have to attend to him immediately, give him a response, and I'm not in the position to give the response because my mind is working somewhere else. But if I remain focused where I am and tell the other person, yes, I'm coming to you. Yes, I'm coming to you. Yes, I'm coming to you. Internally or externally, verbally.
Okay.
So that person knows, you also know, and you gradually, then depending on the priority of the issues or the people, you may decide to attend 1 by 1. So file Sambhayanikal, take it easy, attend 1 at a time. This is the crux of the solution when too many things are grabbing your attention at one time, which is then burst. It's an outburst, Arey, yeah, I'm doing here, wait, that outburst. This is, I don't know whether I've answered your question properly.
No, you have. It's where my Vani is like not being best, right? It's not in that line of Nuturu Jubasa.
Right. So this is one solution which I had used and it did help me.
Okay. And to follow up, like another question kind of in that same category is when you are receiving, when somebody is giving you Kathor Tandili Bhasha and you don't speak back, but in our Kalam, it doesn't say like, I feel like in my mind, I sometimes think negative, but I don't say, right? I might not say something because I know it's not going to come out in that standard, but then it'll go into my mind, this person did this to me. How do I, and then I just do pratikraman for that, or like, how do you just skip that step, or how do you get away from going into developing that poor man, Manti pachi dukh thai koi bija koi ne.
Perfect. So you have won 50% of the battle, in the sense when someone says Kathor Bhasha, hurting language, vengeful language, you don't speak out. So at least at the Vani level, restraint is there, but restraint is not there at the mind level. You see. There, so there, whatever happened in the mind, then you have to reset at the mind level using whatever Gnan or Agna. That, okay, file Sambhayanikal, Vyavasthit, Nirdo, whatever. So the mind needs to be settled down or calmed down, or whatever Kathor Bhasha in the mind that has happened at the thought level, that has to be washed away with the right understanding of the way, Gnan, Agna, whatever. So then you erase it at the mind level from there.
Okay.
And parallelly, what will happen is you will be instilling the right understanding also, reinforcement of Vyavasthit, Akarta, Nirdosh, or file, whatever, because you're repeating that. So you will, at the mind level, you'll get erased, and then you'll be instilling the new understanding. And when you instill the new understanding, it will help you perhaps later on. My experience tells me is that If our awareness comes at the mind level itself, then many things get sorted out over there itself. First, the intellect or the mind, says, "Oh, the other person is guilty, wrong, erroneous, injustice, whatever." If I'm able to catch it at that level only, then the speech and actions will automatically get subdued. So 50% of the battle by not coming in speech, the remaining 50 at the mind level, you have to just square it off later on or cleanse it later on and repeat it so that at the next time, even at the mind level, it gets cleared out. If someone speaks in hurtful language, chalo, I would say file number 1, Pulin, chalo, this has come, just accept it, jama kari lo. Something like that. If it works at the mind level, then speech and action will not there. It'll take time, but I'm saying step 1 is cleansing at the mind level, instilling the new and doing that repeatedly. That's why we said throughout the day do 1 kalam. Then maybe after 9 days, if we find 1 or 2 kalams are required, then that we could continue after the 9 days also.
Yeah,
It's
because it's ongoing. Yeah, sorry. Because then what I noticed is that it goes back into column 1, because now I'm hurting that person's ego with my mind.
True.
So then I did 2, almost 1. Either way, I'm still breaking 1 column.
Yeah, but that'll happen. That'll happen. You see, the discharge thought, discharge intellect, discharge ego, our discharge ego will all going to play out. Our beliefs, expectations from others, all those are going to play out. So all you have to do is to be aware of what's coming out and manage that. Whatever we have charged is coming out by of discharge, our expectations and whatever, and that we have to repair it or square it with today's Gyan. Only 5 today's Gyan, or satisfy the intellect, satisfy the mind with today's Gyan, and then gradually it will all go away. If I have charged that this is justice and this is how it should be done and this is absolutely wrong and I just can't take it here, no, as strongly I've charged this, that many times it will keep coming to me. I just can't digest injustice, But then every time I keep putting, that true justice is what is true justice? This is relative justice, the justice of the world. True justice is nature's justice. Whatever happens is true. This was what you were charged during the ignorant state of the past life. Now we have to cleanse it with today's Gyan because we want to get rid of the file number 1. We want to get rid of life and death cycles and want to go to Moksha. That type of understanding, explanation, and cleansing, and it's a long-term project. It's a long-term project because we don't know how much we have brought of what intensity and what duration and what, how much quantity.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yes, Achay.
Okay,
And Pooja, just my experience on your first item, it's always at the work. I was always in that period all the time. So what I used to do, get my mind like Pulinanandji, you have to get your mind to rest. Okay, say okay. There are 5 priorities are coming. 1, write it down, and say I'm going to tackle. This is important. This is I'm going to take a 1, 2, 3. No time those gets done. Once your mind is set at rest, everything happens very fast. Deepakanandji, you have to add something?
Yes. After you finish.
Go ahead.
Yeah, number 1. One aspect is of projected doership of the past, which makes puja do several things. So whatever puja does is based on those projected doership aspect, which makes puja do certain things, and due to that action or due to those actions, puja has to pass through those related suffering. Number 1. Number 2, all these recorded tapes, they will play out when you come across those circumstances. We come across so many circumstances. And at times, like all those recorded stuff, they just play out. So, I will not say play out, they just bombard at us. In the sense, it starts running, going on inside. And the third part is our opinion part due to ignorance. Specific opinion about specific people, specific things, and those opinions, they pop up in our mind. And so these are the three aspects. Ultimately, all the three aspects make us pass through that suffering. Make puja pass through that suffering. So first we have to identify as perceiver and knower, primarily perceiver, that what is making puja do all this. That is discharge egoism, which was caused or charged due to projected doership. I will do this, I will do that. But that was projected, not by you, but it was projected. And due to that, puja is inspired by circumstances, so ultimately Vyavasthit Shakti, to do all those things which will ultimately make her pass through that suffering. She is passing through that suffering by making her do things through Vyavasthit inspiration. She is the sufferer, and you can see as perceiver her suffering, and you can see the sufferer, but only if you perceive through pure soul vision. That is activity part. Number two, all these recorded tapes, they just play out when we come across that. When we say we, it is when puja comes across those circumstances. And at times, all those circumstances which puja had passed through, those related recordings, they just play out one after another, overlapping each other. So it becomes like a confusion. And what is our goal as perceiver? Analyze all those actions which makes puja pass through the suffering. Analyze all those speeches which are crossing the boundaries of Sayadva. And number three, all those opinions which pops up in puja's mind, to understand that all these are by relative viewpoint. What we mean, we identify that as relative, that is vyavhar only, because I am perceiver, the nischay, as pure soul. Correct? That is number one. So many things that come up. Now, one thing is the action part, which if it is performed, we'll say, by puja, the other is the verbal wrangle, we can say, the speech part which puja speaks. And the third is the thought process. The action part is very gross. People don't remember much. But still, if it is wrong, it is wrong. Someone gets hurt, it needs correction. The second part is the speech part, which has long effect. But that effect, if it is outside, what we mean spoken outside, then that effect is for the life, that is particular, this life. If it is spoken inside, then there is a chance of going it further because it went uncorrected. Unless if it is corrected, that is the thing. And if we go through because it is crossing the boundaries of Shadva. And the third part is the opinion part, which is due to past ignorance. But today that ignorance is not there. But we have to view all those viewpoints through two viewpoints only. That is, I as perceiver, and whatever viewpoint that pop up, they are all relative. What was caused, that gets played out. Whatever. So from what it plays out, we come to know what was caused. You are not the one who have caused, but now you are a perceiver, and this puja baby is with you, and it is your duty as mother soul, perceiver, pure soul, to correct puja and make her perfect. normal, sahaj. And it's a great opportunity we have. And that correction is not by virtue of any action, but to realize, understand, and accept the mistake and correct them, keep correcting them. But when it comes with so much of flow, too many things at a time, in fact, there is always a gap. But because we are not able to handle them, we feel too many things are coming at a time. In fact, they all come one at a time. But one comes and behind that, another comes behind that, third comes. So, which means we are not able to manage that first one, the overlapping part which just keeps bouncing on us, we are not able to manage. What do we mean? We are not able to perceive them, correct them, and resolve for that. So this is a good process that our life, puja is passing through, and we as perceivers keep perceiving, watching puja in totality, but as much we can see, we will be able to correct ourselves. So it's a wonderful process, but if you analyze and understand it right way, then you know what you have to do. At that time, because of the pressure and the flow, terrible flow, like water gushing from a source, you can't manage. But afterwards, when the flow has reduced, you analyze what were the mistakes committed at the action level, what were the mistakes committed at the speech level, and what were the actions committed at the thought level, correct them through retrospection. Hey, Sachidanand.
Yes, Sachidanand. It's very nice.
One more thing I would
analogies.
like to add, that all those bunch of mistakes we can categorize in the form of these 9 columns. We can use different filters like first column, second column, third column, and I identify the mistake and correct them. Otherwise, in principle, they are all mistakes because ultimately they end up hurting others. And in return, puja gets hurt. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Thank you.
Jai Sachidanand. Okay, we have still some time left. Kushbu, you want to share something?
Not today, Jai Sachidanand.
Okay. How about Lalita Ben?
I just have a couple of things to mention. This is one of the things Pooja mentioned. I'm not sure whether that is my approach. I mean, this is something similar I went through. Absolutely, I think every mother goes through that because you are at work and you have too many things, too many of them. And at one point in time in my career, I was doing recruitment, international recruitment, which meant like the turning around time is very essential and there is so much of workload and so much of it. And yes, one of the things which used to happen is when you're so pressed for time, you just show it automatically comes. You take it out on the children, you take it out on, directly. Sometimes, you are not available for them, and this used to happen. And what I did was, I realized, I hadn't got Jnana at that time. But one thing which I did is I realized that I'm spending far too much time. And that is the reason why the whole thing is happening. So over a period of, say, about 3-4 years, I actually kind of moved out of what I was doing. And this was a very carefully, consciously taken decision, and made sure that my career, I would have time for, basically, which can be, much better, not to the extent so chaotic. So, I mean, that is one thing I did, and it helped me tremendously. I could actually, I wouldn't say slow down. And I realized, basically, because I decided to do, which was not 24/7. I decided to do, not that kind of, work which calls for so much time. I'm not sure whether that's a correct thing, but that's what I did, and it helped me tremendously.
Okay. Pulinanandji?
And
Yeah, finish, Lataben.
so the other thing which, the point which was talked about earlier, you were talking about the 9 columns and how every day we could do, and Sailia was, you were talking about it is such a great thing because it's going to help tremendously. So I was just thinking in my mind, how do we kind of, make it a habit? So what came to my mind is there is something called a habit stacking. So when you do something like, Rajinikanthji was saying, he puts a sticker note, basically it's an opportunity to kind of look at it when he gets back from his break. Something like that we need to actually do, which goes with our habits. And I was just thinking what I would do is, like in the morning, it just kind of, there is a time where I do that, I go for a bath, I do that so maybe make time in between so that every day consistently we do at that time, so we don't really slip out on this particular important thing, because setting a time and doing may or may not work. But basically, say for instance, you finish your prayer, maybe sit down for a few minutes, or because every day we go to bed, so before going to bed, thinking about it is very, very easy, you can definitely do that. But I was just thinking, how would I do it during the day? What came to my mind is I need to actually bring it along with the, my routine, and try to kind of bring in and put a, so after this, I will take 5 minutes to reflect over. And I hope it works. It's something which is absolutely important until I totally internalize, it has to come as a second nature. And as I see it, it's not so easy, every day, you tell yourself in the morning, this is what I intend doing. But as the day progresses, when we meet up with people, when there are interactions, there are times you slip. So this is such a great idea, and I intend taking it up and then going forward. So hopefully I'll be able to kind of improve. These are the 2 points I just wanted to put across. Thank you.
Yeah. It's very right. Just as you said, the last thing that you said was to bring it into your routine so that you don't have to set a time, but it gets dragged along in the routine. That's like, when you take medicines 3 times a day. So you take 3 times a day. So while taking the medicine, you say this kalam. So something similar you're saying it. You tie it up with some activity so that this is brought into your routine and it becomes a habit. And yes, when you mentioned the word habit, I happened to read many years ago a little bit about habit. Nothing to do with Dada, normal worldly wisdom type of thing. He spelled out the word habit, H-A-B-I-T. The point was, habits are very hard to break. That is, in our terminology, whatever past charge we have brought, which is coming out as discharge, it's difficult to square it up or get rid of it at one shot. So in worldly wisdom language, someone just said habit as H-A-B-I-T. So you knock off H, a bit, A-B-I-T, a bit still remains. If you knock off A, B-I-T, bit remains. If you knock off B, it still remains. So that's how it's with habits. or in our understanding is the layers of charge that we have brought is playing out
That's
as
beautiful. That's very nice. Yeah.
it's playing out as layers of discharge. HABIT, it still remains. So, and that's the Purusharth Dada Bhagwan also did for 35-40 years, this now Kalam. And that's how he squared up all the HABIT stuff, removed all, cleansed all the layers, you know. So that was as far as bringing to routine, which all of us have to devise our own ways. And as you said that basically you set up priorities while you are working in your job and you had multiple things coming on your this thing demanding your attention, office work as well as homework, and then you found it is too much and it's taking a toll on your personal and family life. So you decide to slow down on the office and set basically you set priorities that I'll give more time and attention to the whatever home or family or whatever. This just brought one insight to me while you were narrating your experience, and Pooja also mentioned about too many things popping up together, which also I had experienced myself some years down the line. Maybe, you know, what I felt was maybe in the past life, I had charged, just to take your example, you know, why only mother? I can do this, I can do that, I can work also. I am so talented person. I can work like men. I can earn money. I can also run the house. I can do this. I will do this. I can do this. I will do this. So we charge so many things, you know, I will do this. And that is now played out as discharge. Okay, chalo, you are working, you are hiring people, you are also attending office. Why this discharge is come? Because we must have charged. I can do multiple things at a time. I can multitask. I will do this. I will show people I can do it. So the charge was done by intention. It played out as actions. And then you felt, oh, this is too much. So then again, you reset your priorities and no. I'll give priorities to 1, 2, 3, maybe home front. And then 3, 4, 5, the office will be a lower priority. So I was just trying to, in hindsight, nothing against you or your experience, but based on what happened with me, what brought this thing? Maybe I charged something like that. Yeah, I can multitask. I can handle this. So it came all, and then I found that it is not working the way it was anticipated. I'm not able to coolly handle it. So then I have to use today's Gyan and make myself cool and handle all the multiple activities. So the point was just a reflection. What brought this discharge? Maybe something like that. Some ego was playing out like that, you know. So just a brief thought that came across. JSS.
Deepakanandji? Unmute.
These situations do come as discharge only. We have time for work, you have office time, you have time to sleep, you have time to eat, but we have not prioritized time for our correction, taking a break and retrospection and correcting yourself. So if we understand the importance of that aspect also, I believe some time will definitely be allocated for that, and that will help us correct those past mistakes which were committed and they remain uncorrected. So when this thing happens, then it's like, because so many things come at a time, so many things just remain uncorrected. They are left uncorrected. And that gets accumulated and creates, that obscures our vision. Too much of mistakes. So now, how will you handle that? So see, every day we take bath, we have time allocated for taking bath also. We have time allocated for eating, everything else. But this part is missing. We missed it totally. Just after having this realization, we came to know that, oh, this time is also important. And if this is allocated, then what is going to happen? This repetition, that means correction that would take place, eventually free ourselves from the past mistakes or pending jobs, and then we will become so free and vigilant that when these mistakes are committed, they get corrected then and then itself. And when that happens, that's our goal rather. But because of this backlog which gets accumulated and which gets remain uncorrected, we must pay some attention to that and start correcting them. Because we want to do so many things, but we have not given importance to those uncorrected mistakes which has piled up. It has become a heap like. And that is not, that is damaging our performance at this particular moment, this moment which is so important and vital for us to perceive what's happening now. So with this understanding and conviction and a decision that yes, I need to take a break, correct myself, and go ahead. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Our time is up. So, Pulinanandji Deepakanandji will continue with Kalam number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more week, then maybe we could introduce
Okay.
Kalam 6.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay. And also, please bring your experience through all the Navratri experiences also. Okay. Jai Satchidanand. Deepakanandji, can you do three mantra? Everybody please follow.
Yeah. Namo Vitragaya. Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Loe Savva Sahunam.
Namo Loe
Namo Sabha Sahunam.
Eso Panchana Mukkaro.
Eso Panchana Mukkaro.
Savva Pava Pranasano.
Savva Pava Pranasano.
Mangalanam Cha Savvesim.
Mangalanam Cha Savvesim.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Pulinanandji. Jai
Jai
Deepakanandji. Jai
Jai Satchidanand. Pulinanandji. Satchidanand. Jai Puja Sailya. Jai Satchidanand. Laktapan. Jai Satchidanand. Dr. Krishnan.
Jai
Jai Satchidanand.
Satchidanand.